Hi everybody, welcome to David Christopher's YouTube channel. Today we're going to be doing something a little different and talking more about how to do something economical with your wreath. So we're going to show you a less expensive alternative to how we construct some of our grapevine wreaths. And one way we do that is we're going to show you a forsythia wreath, and we're going to show you a little bit different version of doing it. So when we use forsythia, we typically use this really nice bush, a lot of twig in it, just some sparse blooms, things like that. That's normally what we use. It's also quite long, but it's also more expensive. These are double the price of this one. This one's got a nice brown stem in it, and even though this is kind of a we consider this kind of a bush flower, kind of slightly lower grade than this one. This works really well for this kind of thing because we're going to be needing a lot of different flowers, a lot of flowers to fill this space up. We're going to be using these, but we're also going to be using this Tweedia bush that's got this larger yellow flower, same color, but it's got a larger petal in it, so that this is going to actually take up more space. And we're going to layer that so that we put the forsythia on front of this. We're going to bend these stems so that we can dip that in the glue, and we're going to start going around our wreath. Doesn't matter where you start, we're just going to space these out. So we're going to bend our longest piece more in. We're going to let our shorter piece stay a little more up. Keep bending the stems, sticking them in, bending that piece down. And we're just going to go all the way around our wreath like this. Put some space in between your stems. And this is really going to go a long way for really showy for the price. I'm going to need one more of this Tweedia bush. You might get by with one. I mean, it'd be close, but for the price, I really don't think it's too much to go to a second one. And this is, we're considering this kind of layering. We're layering this less expensive flower really in the back. And just because it's got more volume to it than just about anything else that we have for that price. So that's really what we're basing that on. And I've gotten most of the way around my wreath. I'm going to put one more here just to fill in that small little gap. And then we're going to take some of these, I'm just going to get them more in the middle of the wreath. I'm going to cut these apart between this longer piece and the shorter piece, just so this goes a little bit further. So we've had most of our grapevine wreath with this particular option. And at this point, we're going to go to our more forsythia shaped, I think we're calling it a star blossom. We do sell it in lots of colors, but the yellow does very much look like forsythia. So because it's got that smaller blossom shape, it doesn't fill the wreath in as much as the other one, but we want to get some of this particular shape because we want to make this more like a forsythia wreath, and we're going to layer that on top. And we're just going to keep going around like this. Any of these spaces where you feel you missed something in your first go around with the grapevine wreath, that first layer of the Tweedia bush that we used. So we get this better forsythia shape on top of it. It's really going to hide that and make it appear really full, and it's going to keep it really inexpensive also. Now, at this point, we really got it pretty full. I mean, there may be a spot here or there that we want to add to, but you could keep it like this, and we've got 3 bushes in it that are not very expensive at all. I think they retail for like $6.99, something like that, $7.99. And then we've got a grapevine wreath, and that's all we have in this so far. And at this point, we can choose if we want to keep going with like our forsythia. We could add a little bit more of this to some different places and thicken it up just a little bit more, or we could add something else. So now that we've got our yellow base really set, we're going to use our bright colored kind of this fuchsia peony, and we're going to add those in. And we're going to be using our peony bundle as these shorter stems. They're just tied with this raffia. You can slide that off. And it's got 2 different sizes. It's got buds and blooms that you can use. And then we're also going to use this peony bush that's got this open, frilled kind of texture that's got that yellow center that's really going to pop inside of our wreath because of all that yellow on the outside. So we're going to start adding these in. And this really is kind of what I consider like layering our wreath up, is we're using our less expensive items to fill that space and that gap of the grapevine wreath. And then we're using our more expensive items to to go on top of that, really, so you get that color, you get that big wow impact. But then we're going to use some of these slightly higher priced items to really go on top of these. So a lot of times what I'll do if I need to do a wreath, especially like if I want one that's all the way around like this, I will use some of our less expensive florals to really fill a lot of the wreath up, and then go back in it with some of the nicer pieces that people want, and it really allows you to get a lot more bang for the buck. And that way you're not overpricing everything. Helps keep it economical for people. So one more of the buds. I'm just going to try and even this out a little bit. Keep our colors balanced. And then we're going to start adding our open peony that's got that nice yellow center. That's really going to stand out. And these are not, I wouldn't call these expensive, but they are higher priced than the filler bush that we're using, the Tweedia, those things. So yes, it's not like a drastic price change. I wouldn't recommend putting your $20 stem flowers on top of your bush flowers, but you know, if you're trying to do something like a special for your customers, or you need something that seems really really a lot of visual impact for the money to send out an email or something along those lines, this is really the way to go to me, is to really give somebody a lot to look at for less amount of money. And we'll just keep going around. We want some toward the outside, we want some toward the inside, can balance that out. Just a couple more of these. Get your tag off. Make sure you do that. One more. Let's see here. I'm gonna move my peony bed up a little bit right there. We'll stick this one down at the bottom. Kind of alter, go back and kind of adjust some of these as needed. Make sure my paint's really evenly distributed. I'll move this bud. But you could always add more. If you added 2 of the peony bouquets and 2 of the peony bush, you'd be in good shape also. So just even that back out there a little bit. Now, we've added that. That is a lot of visual impact for the dollar amount that you have in there. A lot of people are able to sell these for a lot of money. So if you can do something that's really big, really impactful like this for a lot less price, I think your customers will be very happy.